Today, Fanta is one of the most widely consumed soft drinks in the world. Produced by the Coca-Cola Company and sold in nearly 200 countries, it's a colorful, fruity beverage associated with fun, youth, and refreshment. But behind its cheerful image lies a lesser-known and rather controversial history, one that dates back to Nazi Germany during World War II. In the 1930s, Coca-Cola was booming in Germany. As Adolf Hitler rose to power in 1933, so did Coca-Cola's influence. Ironically, Hitler himself didn't drink alcohol, and Coca-Cola became a preferred beverage among Nazi elites. During large-scale Nazi rallies, and even at official government events, Coca-Cola was often served alongside traditional German beverages. The man behind Coca-Cola's success in Nazi Germany was Max Keith, a German-born executive who had trained in Coca-Cola's U.S. headquarters. Thanks to his knowledge of German culture and language, Keith was placed in charge of Coca-Cola GmbH, the German subsidiary. Along with American Representative Ray R. Powers, Keith positioned Coca-Cola as a patriotic and respectable drink for the German public. The company even sponsored the 1936 Berlin Olympics, further ingraining itself into the Nazi-controlled society. When Nazi Germany invaded Poland in 1939, World War II officially began. Soon after, Coca-Cola's U.S. headquarters could no longer send the syrup concentrate needed to produce Coke in Germany. International trade routes had been cut off due to Allied blockades. With supply lines severed, the German Coca-Cola plants faced a crisis. They could no longer produce their flagship drink. Max Keith had a choice: shut down operations or find an alternative. Determined to keep the company afloat, Keith decided to develop a new drink using only the ingredients available within Nazi Germany. But more importantly, he needed the regime's support. Keith maintained close relationships with key Nazi officials, including Franz von Papen, Hitler's political ally, Fritz Toll, founder of the organization Toll, and later Joseph Goebbels, Albert Speer, and Hermann Göring. Through these connections, Coca-Cola GmbH was granted special status and avoided nationalization. Remarkably, Keith was even appointed to a post in the German government's Foreign Goods Department, further solidifying the company's operational freedom in wartime Germany. By 1940, Max Keith had devised a plan. With the help of chemist Richard Kuhn, a Nobel Prize winner who declined his award under Nazi pressure, a new beverage was formulated using whatever ingredients were locally available. This included apple fiber from leftover cider pressings, whey, a byproduct of cheese manufacturing, beet sugar peels from apples and oranges. The result? A sweet, fizzy drink with a vague fruit flavor. When Keith asked his team to use their imagination to name the drink, one salesman, Joe Nip, shouted, "Fanta," short for fantasy, the German word for imagination. And just like that, the brand was born. Fanta quickly became a hit. By 1941, the drink had sold over 3 million cases in Germany. Rumors suggest Adolf Hitler himself may have tasted and approved it, though this is still debated. Due to sugar rationing, some Germans even use Fanta in stews and soups to sweeten their meals. According to Arthur Axmann, head of the Hitler Youth, simply advertising that Fanta would be served at events dramatically increased attendance. It was the morale booster of a starving, war-torn nation. Among the German military, Fanta became a favorite. German U-boat crews, Luftwaffe pilots, and even Wehrmacht officers stored Fanta to celebrate victories or break up the monotony of war life. With alcohol scarce and rationed, Fanta became the drink of choice for many soldiers. Meanwhile, Coca-Cola's Dutch subsidiary faced the same problem. Max Keith shared the Fanta formula with NV Coca-Cola Maatschappij in the Netherlands. However, They created their own version using elderberries as a sweetener and flavoring agent. This variant also gained popularity among Dutch civilians during the war. As with most major operations in Nazi Germany, Coca-Cola GmbH utilized forced labor, including prisoners of war and concentration camp detainees. However, after the war, Max Keith was not prosecuted. Testimonies from former forced laborers stated that Keith treated them relatively well, fed them adequately, and protected them from harsh treatment to ensure uninterrupted production. When American forces arrived in Germany in 1945, they found Keith still producing Fanta inside a bombed-out factory with no roof, continuing operations amid the rubble. Keith told U.S. officials, "I could have shut down the plant and returned to America, but I stayed to save the company." Following the war, the original German Fanta formula was discontinued in 1949. But in 1955, the drink was reinvented in Naples, Italy, this time with a vibrant orange flavor made from Mediterranean citrus fruits. This new version was brighter, sweeter, and more fun, perfect for marketing to a post-war, modern audience. Fanta quickly expanded across Europe, then to Latin America and Africa, where sweet tropical flavors were highly favored. In the early 2000s, Fanta's popularity had dipped in the US. Coca-Cola responded with a major rebranding campaign in 2001, targeting younger audiences. In America, Fanta is now typically made with high fructose corn syrup, while other countries use real sugar. Global markets feature dozens of regional flavors, from salty watermelon in Japan to colita in Costa Rica. Today, Fanta is available in over 180 countries, with more than 90 different flavors tailored to regional tastes. The drink's dark origins are rarely mentioned in Coca-Cola's official branding, but its story serves as a fascinating and sobering example of how innovation, war, and survival can intersect in the world of business. In Essen, Germany, where Fanta was born, a street still bears the name Max Keith in honor of the man who created a global beverage empire amid one of history's darkest chapters.